Good morning, Rabbi. Thank you for coming. Please sell yourself to breakfast and honestly sponsored. The Torah says when Yaakov had a confrontation with his father-in-law Lavan, what does it say? Vayichal Yaakov, Vayorov Lavan. Yaakov was angry. He confronted Lavan. Vayan Yaakov, Vayomer Lavan. He said to Lavan, "Ma pishi ma chatasi. What's my sin? You walked over that you chased me, you pursued me, you went through all my stuff." And what does Lavan answer him? Vayan Lavan. Vayomer Yaakov. He says to Yaakov, "Habanos." Your daughters are my daughters. Your sons are my sons. All your sheep is mine. All what you see, everything is mine. That's his answer. Yaakov says, you pursued me, you didn't find anything, you're not even a shoelace. And what does Laban answer? This is all mine. So there's a story told that Rabbi Soloveitchik was once, the Rabbi Ritz, he once went to Warsaw. And what happened was there was a minister, they enacted some anti-Jewish legislation, they put levies and taxes on the Jewish people. So they wanted to know how to deal with the situation, so Rabbi Soloveitchik went to see the Chafetz Chaim who was in Warsaw. And to ask him advice on dealing with your present situation. So the Chafetz Chaim answered, the Gemara talks about the fact, in the name of Rabbi Eliezer, that what can a person do to spare the agonies of the pre-Messianic age? And Rabbi Eliezer answers, let him study Torah and do acts of violence. So the Chafetz Chaim says, if you gather all the Rishonim, you get all the great scholars, all the rabbis from previous generation, can you give better advice than what Rabbi Eliezer gave? You're coming to me from the Chafetz Chaim, I should give better advice from Rabbi Eliezer? He said, what am I doing in Warsaw? The Chafetz Chaim said, I want to go to Israel, I'm trying to get a passport. So I'm here in Warsaw. I go to the passport office, and they say to me, you got to have a birth certificate. He says, it's impossible to get a birth certificate. It's not like everything computerized. So they said, well, you got to get 2 witnesses from your town that you were born, in that town. He was in a town called Zettel. Where am I going to, he says, I'm 80 years old, I'm over 80 years, where am I going to find 2 witnesses from my town from 80 years who could testify that I was born in that town? But this is quite amazing. This is a country that's supposedly ruled by a code of law, but such a ridiculous law and how it applies to us. And this is what the Torah is telling us. That's what the Chafetz Chaim says. When Lavan is confronted by Yaakov, and Yaakov says, what's my sin? What's my offense? So what does Yaakov tell him? You searched all my things. You didn't find a single thing, not even a shoelace that's not mine. So what does Lavan answer? He doesn't want to concede to Yaakov anything. He doesn't want to concede Yaakov the right to exist. He says, everything you got, everything you see, your kids, your daughters, everything is mine. Which is ridiculous. He said, this is what's happened with my passport. If a non-Jew would come to get a passport, they wouldn't give us such draconian rules under the rule of law. We see it even today when it comes to Israel. When it comes to Israel's self-defense, there's a certainly different standard where if a non-Jewish world gets involved in a conflict, they don't say Jews bend over backwards, get killed. You see that standard. So the things don't change from times of Yaakov, the anti-Semitism, the way it is. And Yaakov confronted it, and he says, what's my sin? And we have to say to the world, what's our sin that you're pursuing us in such a way? Have a wonderful day.